Hello there. In this video I'm going to show a quick demonstration of the manipulation that I do for the pit in Super Mariomon. Well, how this manipulation works is we do a save and quit before talking to the attendant in the pit, and then on a certain text box we time our A press with a timer, as you can see on screen here. And this will give us a pretty big window of which we can choose a rental capture that has runaway. And as you can see from the list, there are frames that have multiple captures that have runaway, which makes getting through the pit extremely consistent. So I'm just going to head over there right now. Excuse my poor driving. So yeah, so you're going to go in the pit here, and then what we're going to do is save the game. And then you can see I have my flow timer, which you can download it. There's places you can download it if you go on speedrun.com. Resources for a lot of Pokemon speedruns. It should be in my guides too for my speedruns. For the routes that I have for this game. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to mash through here. We got lots of time, and then we want to pause on this text box, and then when the timer expires, we hit A. Okay, so now we have a list of we have 6 possible encounters or captures to choose from, and you can see our first capture is Goomba Stack. On the list here, I'm actually just going to move this over here so it's a little bit easier to see. You see I've highlighted this frame 21657, where we have Goomba Stack as the first capture of the list. And so the second one will be Charging Chuck, which it is. Then we have Bandit, Parabini, Pidgeot, Yoshi. They all show up on the list. So this is one of the frames we can hit. I've highlighted the 10 here because these 10 all have 2 or more users or captures that have runaway. And unlike the Battle Pyramid, runaway works pretty much 100%. I have heard rumblings that it doesn't always work, but in my experience, it has worked every single time I've used it. And so by playing conservatively in the pit, avoiding trainers as much as possible, you should be able to get through and clear each set of 7 floors pretty consistently and get to the end. After you clear 3 sets of 7, you get the opportunity to catch Bonetail, which is one of the legendaries. And that's required for a diploma speedrun of the game, and also if you want to just complete your decks, you need to do that. Provided you're not on an earlier version of the ROM, which has... you can actually glitch, get a bad egg to glitch the game into thinking you have 151, where you actually don't have Bonetail, so you can actually skip it completely. But that's not possible in the newest versions of the ROM. Yeah, so in this scenario, if you're doing a speedrun, or if you want to get through this quickly, you can take. You have 3 options to choose from. In the speedrun, we like to take Yoshi as one of them because Yoshi evolves into has 4 different evolutions: red, blue, yellow Yoshi, as well as Yub, and the alternatives, you get 1 free baby Yoshi from the egg, but the alternative is catching a Yoshi in Safari Zone, and they're 5%. Whereas you have to go through the pit to actually complete, because you have to get Bonetail anyway, so you might as well grab the free Yoshi here. One thing that's important to point out is if you take these 3 runaway encounters, which is the safest in terms of getting through the pit and running away from wild encounters, none of these captures can hit dry bones. So you'd be kind of screwed, and you'd lose your streak if you took all 3 and you happen to run into a trainer that has a dry bones, which is highly unlikely, but it still has possible. It has happened to me when I was playing around with this bit and testing things out. So what I would recommend is taking something like Charging Chuck, which has Play Rough, because that can hit the Dark Ground type, which Charging Chuck is. As you can see, Goomba Stack doesn't have anything that can hit for super effective. Charging Chuck does. Bandit does not. You can take Parabini. Grassy Glide will hit as well. Nothing. Pidgeot isn't great. And so, yeah. So, in this particular frame, your options are... You have 3 runaway users, then you have 2 things that can hit Dry Bones. So, that's a really good option for you to have here. So I'll just show you I'll just demonstrate the manipulation one more time. You can see there's 10 frames. The way I use this offset that I use, 36.05, kind of centers roughly on that middle of this this window here. You can see at the bottom there's 3 more frames that I've indicated. These 3 here. In this particular case, we only have 1 runaway user, which is Yoshi. Yoshi isn't great to have as a runaway lead because it doesn't have good moves. I really like using Bandit as my lead because it has really high attack. I'll actually just bring it up here again, if I can find it. There it is. It has Fake Out, which is just fantastic for hitting things for flinch damage right off the bat. Really, really good. It has Thief, which is stab. It has Acrobatics, which is super strong, provided you're not holding an item. And Charm is also just great for lowering the attack in situations where you're up against something pretty strong. It also has an Adamant Nature, which is extremely good for Bandit to have. It doesn't really use special attacks. I haven't really used Goomba Stack all that much, but it is impish. It is holding the Goomba Boots, which boosts its speed, and it's got decent attack and defenses, so it's a solid option. It has no retreat, which allows you to boost its stats. It also gets Stab, Headbutt, Bite, and Poison Fang. Pretty solid, but I think Bandit's still definitely your best lead. And as mentioned, the Yoshi has Tail Slap along with the triple combo of Stockpile, Spit Up, and Swallow. Not a great Mon or capture to use, but definitely valuable if you're trying to complete your Tattledex and you don't want to bother trying to catch more or breed Yoshis for that matter. This is a good way to get Yoshi because again, you do get 1 free capture to keep at the end of each set of 7. So you can get effectively 3 Yoshis going through the pit to get the 21 streak. All right, anyway, that's enough blabbing. I'm gonna go do this manipulation one more time. If it turns out you miss the frame altogether, you do actually get a few extra text boxes here from the attendant, which is fine. You have plenty of time, as you can see, to actually mash through. You don't even have to use text skip here. You've got plenty of time to go through and hit the target text box with plenty of time to spare. Usually about 5 seconds. Yeah, 6 seconds or so. Okay, I think I just got the exact same frame. But yeah, there's Goomba Stack, Charge and Chuck, etc. We'll just do that one more time, just to show that we're getting a different frame. And I think I didn't point out is that the flow timer does have beep metronome or audible beeps. You can't hear them because I don't have desktop audio being captured by OBS. But you can use that to time your presses as well. You don't have to wait. You have to visually look at the time ticking down. Okay, so we got a different frame here. So we have Bandit in slot 1. So there are actually 4 options for frames here. We have the very first frame in the list. And this one actually has 2 bandits. One of these bandits actually does not have runaway. It does not have runaway. It has pickpocket instead. It has a different nature as well. It's not nearly as good, and you wouldn't use this one as your lead. And then we have 2 actually identical frames over here, all with Yoshi, Bandit, and Goomba Stack, and all with Charge and Chuck as well as Pidgeot and Parabini. So they have the exact same captures. So that's a really good group to get. And down here, this very last frame, we have the Bandit again as the lead, but we have Yoshi, and this one I actually elect to take Paratroopa. In this particular scenario, maybe we wouldn't take it, because I don't think Paratroopa can hit Dry Bones, so maybe we're taking something different. Parabini, maybe, in this specific scenario. But anyway, let's see what we get. So we have Bandit. I'm just going to open up the summaries here. So we have a runaway, so that's 2154 or 2155 or 2159. Parabini, so we did get the one down here. This is the frame we're on here. Parabini has Grass Eagle-Eyed. We got the Pidgeot, which is not very good. Yoshi. Iron Cleft, we cannot hit Dry Bones with that. And Paratroopa, we also cannot hit Dry Bones. So in this particular scenario, Paratroopa is actually really solid. It has stab acrobatics, which is exceptional. However, it can't hit Dry Bones. So although it is a better attacker than Parabini, Parabini is a slightly safer option. And yeah, then we just kind of take, so for example, you just take the 3 that we want here, which are these 3, and away we go. And then we kind of just make our way through the pit. It is possible to manipulate the floors of the pit. We do see people who speedrun the Battle Pyramid of the original Emerald game, as well as the All Gold Symbols speedrun, which is an exceptionally long run. You can actually manip the floors. There's some really cool work that's being done on it, actually, as I record this video, to manip each and every floor, which is something that's been recently discovered. That's something that's not really possible in Mariomon, just because you don't have access to a particular feature that's only available in Emerald. But you can maybe manip the first couple floors of each set, but I'm not sure how that would work when you are already manipping the rentals. So that kind of remains to be seen, but we do have a lot of safety because we can run from everything, and that just makes the pit much more consistent. But anyway, that's kind of it. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to comment if you have any questions or you need any clarification. And yeah, catch you next time.